All right, I wanted to talk about dissolution of linear time in advanced light body states. So, most people have experienced this before in their lifetime where time literally stops. Either time goes really fast or really slow, okay? What's happening here is there's a register within the hippocampus that allows you to perceive time, okay? When you're in a fully coherent state with a light body where there is no measurements, no documentation of different states of awareness, it's just complete coherence, your concept of time completely dissolves. You come into that state that is talked about in spiritual texts as a present now. The past and the future all coincide into the now. Okay, this is an actual state that you hold within the light body. Okay, it doesn't mean that time stops or doesn't exist. It's because instead of you going into and working on the timeline, so working within time, you actually go into the substrata of time itself and sit there. And so you're not experiencing time in a linear sense, you're within the time field outside of the timeline, okay? So there's this perceptual loss of linear time awareness, and it's during the stabilization phases of the advanced light bodies, 144, diamond sun, and the rainbow body specifically, okay? So consciousness shifts from an electromagnetic sequencing. Normally there's like a sequencing of the field. It's pulsing, it's alive, it's real, but it's finding its coherence, okay? So it's always shifting and changing. So that shifting and changing within the light body is how you determine time, okay? So if you're in the 3D, it's going to be waking up, brushing your teeth, eating food, going to work, coming home from work, watching TV. That's a regular timeline. If you've moved into the 4D or 5D or even possibly 6D systems, actually any system until you're fully coherent, the light body will be moving and changing, and you'll know what's going on based on the field, okay? But your field will shift. If you're waking up in the morning, your field is different than when you're at work. Okay, it's different when you're at work. When you're around this person, it's going to be different than when you're around that person. You may notice that certain times your field feels really coherent during a meditation class or yoga or something like that, okay? So your field then becomes the element in which you're determining time on a linear sense, okay? Because you're feeling into that. And so what happens when the light body becomes so coherent that there is no movement, your light body becomes a living vessel. It always is. It's a living field of light that you built, okay? When it comes into the state of such coherence that there is no fluctuation due to people around you, situations, waking up, it's coherent. You go to bed, it's coherent. It's coherent throughout the entire day. It's coherent when you're walking down the street, when you're in around a bunch of people. It's always coherent because there aren't those distortions in the field moving around trying to find a place to exist, okay? The field is a fractal of source. Nothing else can permeate it, can change it, or influence it, okay? So we have this shift from this sequencing of the field to plasma coherent. So it's completely coherent. Then we have this perception moves into the substrate that generates time rather than time itself. So this is what I was talking about at the beginning. We move into the time fields that actually generate time and experiences and duality and not in time itself, okay? The 144-point crystalline lattice harmonizes into standing wave equilibrium while vectors collapse into scalar presence. So it all shifts from the mechanism by which you register time all completely dissolve, okay? And you're in no time, okay? It could be generated from the void as well, going into the void. So during meditation or really deep trance states, you can reach this no time space, this complete presence. Otherwise, it can happen in your field and you experience it all the time, which I've experienced recently, probably the past 3-4 months. I have no idea what day of the week it is, what month it is. I've missed quite a few appointments, and that is me not registering how to come back into time, okay? So I've experienced it personally, and it can be a really profound thing to be in that essence of presence and no time. However, we still have to exist in the world. So there's a need to ground and set really strong structures for yourself so that you can live within the world also, okay? I have a full class on this in the Djedi Mastery School. So we will go into how to work with time fields as we go into the substrate of time itself, and then we can expand and collapse time when we need to or want to, okay? There's a need to maintain dual awareness here. So you have to focus on the field, but also your daily rhythms, which I just spoke about, okay? And this is to unify source with embodied harmonic order. So essentially what's happening here is that your perception dissolves, time perception dissolves. The body becomes the stabilizing oscillator through which eternity expresses coherent rhythm in matter. When we work with time, you have to always be careful because you can expand time for yourself and give yourself more time to work on things. I did that this summer. I turned 2 months into a year. I was able to finish all the material, write all the material for the books, and 3 of the schools in 2 months, which was almost impossible. I don't have any idea how I did that, to be honest, but extended time. Then when I got back onto the timeline, for everyone else, they were at the same place in time. Okay, so there are complexities to that because you step off of the timeline, you rearrange time, and then you move back into the timeline. Okay, the other thing that gets very odd with this activation is around the 144 activation, your presence transcends time. So it will overwrite the coding in photographs, videos, artwork, music that you've created. Your coding gets overwritten throughout time in everything you've ever created. There's also an activation that happens with anyone you've ever come in contact with. They become activated by the codes that were activated through your present moment, even though you interacted with them in the past or even the future. Okay, so your coding gets awakened and activated, and anyone that's come in contact with you also gets activated. Any creation you've had, any place you've lived, cities, states, countries, it's this fractal expansion that happens with this activation. Okay, it is outside of space, outside of time, but influences both profoundly. Okay, the difference between this and someone just that doesn't have concept of time is that this is in your body. So you're completely grounded. You're aware of everything that's going on around you and within you. It's your field coherence that creates a state of no time. There's a lot of people that have no concept of time, and that's usually because they're not grounded. They're not in their body. They're outside of the time fields completely at a spiritual level. And that comes across as just being spacey and having no concept of time. So when somebody is grounded in their body and fully aware and conscious of what's going on around them, they're going to have a concept of time. So this is that fully grounded and aware of what's going on, but still no concept of time because the field itself is so coherent that it doesn't register anything other than presence. Okay? If you're interested in the school, all you have to do is apply, and I will look things over, and we can always get on a call and chat. I recommend doing the analysis to start. Otherwise, I appreciate you guys hanging out, watching, and supporting my work. It's really helpful for me to help get it out there. I'm excited to share it. So sending so much love.